The history of the Peloponnesian War, or something, I don't know, will not be seen at this time. Instead, stand by for something truly epic. This is GTV. Glad you came. This is a story from days long past, a time when humans and the gods lived together in harmony. Welcome to Angel Land. Though these days of myths and legends seems idyllic, our story begins as dark times befall Angel Land. The fields are bare as famine has swept the land. An evil presence can be felt everywhere. Then, word comes that men have been cursed, turned to stone. The people of Angel Land fret what's coming ahead, for they fear this is the work of the evil Medusa. Indeed, it was the hand of the goddess of darkness that was to blame for the recent calamities that had befallen Angel Land. The goddess of light, Palutena, confronts Medusa about her wave of evil, and in retaliation lays a curse upon Medusa, disfiguring the goddess of darkness into an ugly, hideous creature with hair of snakes and one giant eye. Then Palutena banishes her from Angel Land, sending her to the darkest, deepest pits of Hades, never to return. After falling from the heights of Angel Land, Medusa, vowing revenge, summons all of the dark spirits in Hades to heal at her command and do her bidding. At the will of Medusa, scores of horrid, cursed beasts and demons are unleashed upon the world. Medusa and her army conquer Angel Land, turn all able-bodied men into stone, and abduct the goddess of light, Palutena, imprisoning her in her own Parthenon, which is now occupied by Medusa. When Palutena awakens, she has only a faint memory of what has transpired. With her army torn asunder, she wonders what will become of Angel Land, and if there's anyone left to save it. Using her powers of telepathy, Palutena calls out for anyone who can hear to come and rescue her. Only one person can hear the message, a young boy named Pit.
Pit, can you hear me? Wake up, Pit. I need you to rescue me. I've been imprisoned in the Parthenon in Angel Land. You must come here to rescue me. You must fight terrifying monsters along the way and defeat Medusa to save Angel Land. The challenge will be difficult, but not impossible. To aid you on your quest, you will need the powers of the three sacred treasures: the mirrored shield, the arrow of light, and the wings of Pegasus. The three sacred treasures will be a vessel of my power and are the only way to defeat Medusa. You will find them along the way as you reach the Parthenon. Take care, Pit. I'll be waiting for you.
Palutena's voice fades away. Pit turns to the guard and asks him to come over. Pit asks the guard a series of random questions to distract him. With the guard relaxed and talkative, Pit attacks the guard, breaks free of his shackles, and escapes with a bow and set of arrows. The quest ahead will challenge Pit to levels he has never faced. He must escape Hades, cross the middle world, then ascend to the heavens to reach Medusa and then Palutena. Each realm is guarded by a demon controlled by Medusa. Can Pit prevail? To save Angel Land, he must. Pit has freed himself from his captors and begins his adventure. To escape Hades, Pit will have to jump up, 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 up. Some walls might give him trouble. Pit encounters his first enemy, a She-Mum. Defeating it produced one heart. The hearts can be used as currency, with a small heart being equal to 1 unit of money. Big hearts being worth 10, and half of a big heart being worth 5. Pit takes his time collecting the hearts left behind. He will need them later. Our hero finds a door. This chamber doesn't have enemies. Why would there be an empty room here for no reason? No one really knows. Continuing up, our hero encounters a new enemy, the Mono-Eye. These flying eyes are difficult to catch, but always seem to fly in groups of 4. Pitt sees a harp, and while the Mono-Eyes fly overhead, he grabs it. The Mono-Eyes have turned into hammers. This item has the important function of freeing men who have been turned to stone by shattering their stone casing. Pitt collects the hammers that fall from the sky and finds another door. Inside this chamber is a nest of speck noses. These strange, giant noses with glasses will leave behind a big heart, but Pitt questions if it's actually worth the risk and leaves. Waiting for Pitt around the corner is the Reaper. Upon first sight of Pitt, the Reaper calls a swarm of Reaperettes. The team calls itself the Eyes of Medusa and report back to her often. Surely the news of Pitt making his way through Hades will not be welcomed. With Pitt outnumbered, he escapes and runs for cover in the nearest door that he can find. This chamber doesn't have enemies like the last one. It's filled with jars. It's a treasure chamber. There are 8 jars, and who can ever smash them in the correct order will be rewarded by the gods. Hearts, angel's feathers, water of life, hammers, barrels, and a credit card can all be found here, if luck serves you well. However, if Pitt does not know the correct order, Bimbogami, the god of poverty, will appear. And unfortunately for Pitt, he has appeared and takes back everything Pitt has found and bans him from the chamber. Things are getting more challenging now as Pitt encounters another new enemy, Magmu, who appears from the ground below and burns Pitt's feet. It does keep him jumping though, and now Pitt has reached the end of the first area of Hades. Our hero takes a break and has actually powered up slightly from all the fighting he's done. The second area awaits. Pitt can't believe his eyes, but deep in the underworld, there's ice, and a lot of it. The ground is frozen, and it makes it more difficult for Pitt to maneuver through. More of Medusa's army is on the attack, and the Reaper makes another appearance. Again, the Reaper summons the Reaperettes, and Pitt runs away, this time taking a chalice full of the water of life, guarded by the Reaper himself. Recharged, Pitt comes across a small shop. Not only does the water of life come in a chalice, it can also come in a bottle to be used later. Other items are sold across the land in other shops, like torches and pencils that come in handy later. Our hero clears out the shop, using up most of his hearts. Now he's prepared for nearly anything. Again, Pitt confronts a new enemy, the Nettler. Pitt shoots an arrow straight ahead, but the Nettler ducks. "Hey, that's not fair," says Pitt. On top of that, Magmus are still under his feet, and the short, slippery platforms have Pitt running for his life. Pitt slips and falls off the ledge. Oh no! It looks like he's finished. Thankfully, with the angel's feather he just purchased, Pitt is able to fly up to safety. Up, 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 Pitt continues on, finding the Reaper again, and several Kamilus as well. It's been a hard series of encounters since Pitt went shopping, but a new door appears. Our hero, though exhausted, takes his chances and enters. Inside, Zeus, king of the gods, is waiting. "Glad you came, Pitt," says Zeus. "Here, take this." Zeus hands Pitt the bronze arrow, much stronger than the one Pitt used before. Zeus says as well that it's customary to receive a new uniform to show an increase in rank, but for now, a new coat of paint will have to do. Outside, the Reaper has caught up to Pitt, but our hero gets away again, and it's off to the next area. In the third area of Hades, more dangers lay in wait for Pitt. Lakes of fire and poisonous plants on the sides of platforms means that Pitt will have to be extra careful moving forward. Our hero comes across another shop and loads up on more supplies, and after cashing out all of his hearts again, steps outside to see that the Reaper is back yet again. The chase ends when Pitt finds refuge in the nearest chamber. Zeus is back! This time, he asks Pitt if he can endure this harsh training. Pitt does not take Zeus seriously, and a pile of stone monoliths fall down and crush him. He has failed the training. Such a weakling Pitt is. Zeus banishes Pitt from the chamber. Had he been successful in his training, he could have earned a fire arrow, the sacred bow, or a protective crystal. Pit bangs on the door and begs for one more chance. Zeus punishes Pit for his immaturity with an electric shock. He gets the message and moves on. Our hero has reached the fortress of Hades. The minions of Medusa's army are stranger and stronger than Pit has ever encountered. Ganymedes and Gobles begin their offense right as Pit enters. Pit comes across the shopkeeper inside the fortress and buys a check sheet, which helps Pit navigate his way around. After leaving the shop, Pit sees a man who's been turned to stone by Medusa. Our hero smacks the statue with the hammer, freeing him. He's an Icarus, a legion of Polytena's holy army. He thanks Pit, saying he will rejoin him for the battle with the fortress guardian later. Suddenly, Pit finds himself smacked right in the face with an eggplant. It's the work of the evil eggplant wizard, who has the power to transform humans into eggplants. Pit's face is now round and purple. Pit runs around the fortress looking for help until he comes to a nurse's station. Only she can remove the eggplant curse. The fortress is a tough place for Pit. Danger is around every corner, and traps are set in nearly every room. Fortunately, our hero has found a hot spring where he can recharge. It's a good thing too, as the Guardian's door is just ahead. Inside, the twin bellows protect the first sacred treasure and have been waiting for Pit. The Icaruses freed by Pit are there to join him and take on twin bellows together. They all fire arrows at the two heads of this fire-breathing hound. One of the Icaruses gets hit with a ball of fire and is finished. Eventually, they all fall, leaving our hero to fight alone. Shooting arrow after arrow, he finally wears down Twin Bellows, who explodes in a giant ball of fire. Left behind is a protective chest containing the first sacred treasure. Beyond this chamber lies the exit from Hades and the entrance to the overworld.
ピットよ、メデューサを倒せ。光の国エンジェランドに平和を呼び戻すのじゃ。マルチアクションゲーム光神話パルテナの鏡。
あなた会社よ。行ってきます。
やればやるほどディスクシステム。
The sky is clear and blue, as Pit is now above ground, traversing the overworld. Medusa has set all new traps to stop our hero from rescuing Polytena. Huge rockmen fall from the sky, Girins attack upward from the ground, while Myx and Minoses fly nearby. In the first area of the overworld, Pit upgrades his arrow again, buys a barrel, which is able to hold 8 bottles of the water of life, and endure harsh training to be rewarded with a power upgrade. However, Zeus is not too pleased with Pit walking away with all 3 rewards when he was only offered 1. Unfortunately for Pit, he was robbed by Pluton just outside the training room, leaving him with nothing. In the second area, Pit finds moving platforms over raging water and a fierce enemy known as the Snowman. Pluton is still chasing after Pit as well. Our hero also finds that the shops in the overworld are really expensive. He can barely afford anything. Pit moves quickly across the second area and into the third. As he doesn't have to jump up, navigating the way forward is much easier than it was in Hades. In the third area, it's an all-out assault. However, Pit is stronger and faster than Medusa's minions and quickly makes his way to the overworld fortress, which is massive in size, nearly twice as big as the one Pit visited before. Inside, more dangers await. Stronger enemies, difficult traps, and the eggplant wizard is back again. Pit buys a pencil and torch from the shopkeeper and frees more Icaruses to join him in the fight. After exploring the overworld fortress, Pit prepares for his battle with the Guardian, Hudra, a giant sea serpent. His only weak spot is his head, which, luckily enough, is above water. Pit fires a barrage of arrows until finally Huge-Ra is defeated. The second sacred treasure is now in hand, and it's off to the heavens above. At the top of the overworld fortress, Pit has consigned himself to the fact that he will have to move upwards, vertically, again. A much more difficult means of navigation than simply running over the ground. Across the three areas, there are new and fiercer enemies to contend with. Collins and Phils are on nearly every cloud. The Reaper is back as well, with the Reaperettes never far behind. Haulers, huge spiky cacti, are hiding in the clouds, ready to strike too. Pit once again meets Pluton, who now has the ability to fly. He's unable to pick our hero's pocket, and instead, Pit is able to take back his items that were stolen from him in the first place. As Pit reaches the end of the first area of the heavens, he finds a strange alien creature, the Komeito. It seems as if it came from another planet. The upward movement across the heavens is still a bit tricky for Pit, not only with the Reaper showing up over and over again, but he constantly falls and requires angels' feathers to keep him moving upward. At the foot of the Fortress of the Heavens, one final shopkeeper is waiting, inviting Pit to come in. Our hero tells the shopkeeper to go pound sand, as his items won't do any good where he's going. The fortress guardian is Pandora, a strange, shapeless form that exists as pure energy. Pandora can become invisible and warp to different locations. Pit dodges the projectiles sent by Pandora and delivers a constant attack, eventually defeating the mysterious creature. Left behind is the third and final sacred treasure. Our hero is now closer than ever to rescuing Palutena and saving Angel Land.
Palutena は体にいいのにおいしいでしょ。濃密ギリシャヨーグルトパルテノおいしい。森永乳業。
Pit equips the three sacred treasures. Using these, our hero can channel the holy power of Palutena to defeat Medusa. Pit flies towards the Parthenon, located above the clouds in the heights of Angel Land. However, this is no easy flight. Medusa's strongest minions lay in wait to stop Pit before he can reach the Parthenon. Totems, sirens, and other powerful monsters are on the attack. Pit is able to maneuver his way through them all, and eventually our hero comes face to face with Medusa, the goddess of darkness. Pit must not look Medusa directly in the eye, or he will be cursed and turned to stone. Using the mirrored shield, Pit can use the reflection to aid him in battle. "What an ugly face," says Pit. Medusa is enraged from hearing this and sends a snake attack. Pit dodges and fires an arrow at Medusa, which lands dead center in her eye. Medusa screams in pain. The two battle on. Our hero continues avoiding snakes while firing arrows. One final hit lands in Medusa's eye. The goddess of darkness begins to smoke and shake, and finally explodes into 1,000,000 pieces. Pit runs to find Palutena. Our hero rips open the prison door, freeing the goddess of light. Palutena rewards Pit for his bravery with a farmer's hat and sickle. And so, with Medusa destroyed, the light of peace returned to Angel Land. But, in order to maintain peace, Pit's struggle continues.